If you get a Sozahdah sister, they are going to leave you better than they found
Just because
you.
we got resources. That's what it comes down to.
Because we know all the tricks and the trades.
We
and
do.
We like to make people feel better about themselves.
He wasn't that big, but I was like, you know what? Why don't we try it? It'll give you girth. It'll give you some length. And he was down for it. So I numbed him up and I injected him in 6 spots.
What's the minimum?
I mean, the average size of a man. What's average size?
I think too big is too bad and too small is, oh no.
Hey, Sozahdah sisters! Let's go!
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Suspected. 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 Suspected.
Yeah!
Ever wish you could be part of the group chat? Well, now you can.
We're the Sozahdah sisters, many voices, one wolf pack.
Talking love, culture, chaos, and what it means to really be a woman today.
No filters, no fluff, just raw truth.
This is
Suspective.
So today we're talking about Build-A-Boo. If you know what that means. How to create your dream man from scratch. Now, I personally feel like I've been a professional at this for a while.
Yeah,
Me too.
I'm no stranger to building a boo.
You've built a lot of boos.
But I mean, I think it's changed for everyone over time. So I just want to hear from you ladies, like, okay, what's your dream guy look like? Height, weight, what he does for a job. Like, let's just start. Tell me what you're looking for in a man.
So I, like Jamila, have been known to build a boo or 2 or 4 or 6 or 10. So 6 feet is my draw, like 6 feet and above. I don't really have a preference on race. I do like European guys and guys that talk like this, obviously, like this and that bullshit. Someone that's really funny, that can make me laugh, and that has like charisma, that has that old school, like OG 1950s kind of like macho man that is a gentleman. When it comes to, I think, his career, as long as he's able to take care of himself and help take care of me, I'm okay with that as well. So just, some height, a little bit of good looks, funny, and can make some money.
A little bit of good looks. You've been known to date only hot men.
So like, you want a unicorn.
The only thing they have going for them is hot, but nothing else, unfortunately.
No, that's not true. That was 10 years ago. You like to ride me on that. But yeah, the looks aren't so important. So for me, if you're good looking, if you're not that good looking,
Lies.
but you have good swag and you can dress well, that's part of the whole look as well.
So where does your looks come on the list? Like, is it 1, 2, or 3?
I would think from 1 to 3, it's probably number 3.
You're a lie.
It's not a lie.
Nah, Sid,
unless
put it
you
at
really
1.
changed Sid. The last time I remember you
Your
was,
track record
was
is
like
always
that's
at number
news to
1.
6 months ago. I mean, looks were part
No,
of
I
number
recently
1.
dated like an 8 out of 10.
So that means
Looks is like number 1 on your list. It is. There's nothing wrong with it. Just own it.
Oh my God. Okay, fine. Looks are important to me. I'm sorry. I want to be able to walk into a room and my man, really want the guy. Sorry.
Okay.
So
I'm looking for 6'5", finance, blue eyes.
that's that song, girl.
Yeah, I know. I don't mind. I don't discriminate. Ideally, I would like to find certain characteristics in a guy. Like, number 1, I think for me is dependability. If I need you, are you going to be there? That to me is the most important. Definitely.
I agree.
And like you like to say, at least 5'12".
Yes.
5'12", yeah.
Yes, 5'12" at least.
But you know what I noticed, Noor, is all the guys you date all look alike. They
She has a
all
type.
look like Superman.
Yeah, she has a type.
Hey, that's pretty good.
But what's not working out for you though? If they all look like Superman, what are they missing? Do they not have a good job?
They're all
are
the
they
man
broke?
without the super.
All they have is the what? The super dick?
They're just the man.
What do they have?
Honestly, it's kind of like it's a variety. It's different reasons for each guy. Yeah, but ultimately, I just don't think it came down to different factors. Well, one, I'm not the same person that I was when I was dating these guys. I definitely have grown. Looking at me now, I would never date any of these guys today. So it's
So would you say that
they
they were part of your Build-A-Boo journey? Did you actually have to build some of these guys into who you wanted them to be?
Absolutely. Oh, I invested a lot into my relationships, 100%. Helping them build businesses, helping them get through school, just really investing, trying to help secure their futures. Absolutely.
I mean, I just want a guy that smells like oud, prays without me having to tell him, built an empire during the day, is a good dad, and lets me be a partner. That's what I've learned,
Yeah.
you know?
In my recent experiences, I think I would add to my list, I think that being consistent is so important. I think in my last few situations that these men would throw flowers on me and like just love bomb me. And then when winter came and the flowers were gone, the roots were rotted. And there was nothing that the flowers didn't grow. They were just there, it looked pretty. And it was because of their inconsistency. And so I feel like these days, the consistency is huge for me. It's like you're doing what you're saying, you're acting on what you're saying, and you're showing me. And I'm showing you too, but I'm very consistent. So I think consistency is key.
And hygiene.
I mean, that's
Well,
just
that's a
obvious.
given.
No. You'd be surprised how many people don't clean their fucking ass or don't clean it correctly. That shit is nasty, bruh.
Well, that goes with
need to
prayer.
know.
That's why I said a man that prays without me having to tell him. That means would do 5
Your-
times a day.
your
and that means
hygiene-
cleaning your balls.
Your
So-
hygiene
I feel
has
like
to
that's
be
a bare minimum.
Your hygiene has to be so crisp that my bed sheets are gonna say thank you. Like it cannot be anything less than. That's like an ick for me. Like how much you bathe and how well you bathe. That's a big thing for me. You know what I mean? And
That's
then
why
also,
I said my guy has to smell like oud. Like you have to
you,
smell
you
fresh
have to.
all the
It's
time.
imperative.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable.
I mean,
And
that's something that just comes with the package. I don't say stuff
You'd
like,
be
oh,
surprised
wash
at a
your
lot of men
hands, brush your
that
teeth.
smell stale.
And you gotta have a bedroom bravado setting that like makes my Wi-Fi be like, hold on, girl, I'm buffering. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with size. That shit is overrated. Don't beat my fucking walls down. I want to keep my shit clink. Like for me, the size myth and all that stuff is like, bitch, why I'm gonna put all that extra miles and wear and tear my walls down? I'm okay.
Because it stretches.
Nah, but guess what? I can feel it.
Yeah.
My thing like that, I can feel anything that goes in there.
Of
So
course
for
it
me,
does.
that extra, it needs to be big and extra. I just think that's ridiculous. Like for me, if you can feel it and your shit is tight and that's all that matters. It's how you do it. And honestly, it's the emotional connection behind it and how I'm vibing. It's the foreplay. It's that connection of how I feel from you mentally being stimulated first. And then all of that, it's like you fall. It's like the sentiment and this ambience that you create around the physical.
Oh, so I would say that size doesn't matter. But I did date someone for 6 months and didn't see anything. And then when I did see it, it was like 3 inches. And that was really upsetting. Bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
And
To say the least, yeah.
I was bamboozled. And because women are always often told, oh, wait and this and that. And you do wait and then you find out it's 3 inches and you're like, well, what do you do with that?
But what if he's perfect? And
He
just
was.
doesn't
He looked like Uncle Jesse from Full House. What's his name? John
Oh, John Stamos. Oh, he's a cutie.
You know who I'm talking about. I know. And so I was so mad that I was like, I want you to go into the room right now and I want you to measure it. Like you fooled
You
me.
didn't say that to him.
I did. And I had him take a spelling test at the same time because he didn't spell well.
Wait a minute.
Two very random things.
Wait a minute. Rewind. You made him measure his dick.
And what did it say when he measured it? What did it say?
He wouldn't do it. And I broke up with him on Valentine's Day.
That's terrible.
It was the next day.
Can't make this shit up. Why this so random? Why a spelling test and measuring your dick? How does that cross your
Because
mind?
he would often make a lot of errors,
That's funny.
grammatical
Spelling-
errors.
hold on. I want to
And
know.
he was blaming it on.
I want to know, what did you make him spell? I just want to know.
I was giving him sentence like, tell me the difference. Like, how would you spell your here? Is it?
Oh, your and your.
Your.
In
Or,
different
yeah,
contexts.
yeah,
There
That's a
and
pet
there.
peeve of mine too.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and he
like
always
there,
blamed it.
there.
I got a pet peeve with that
Or
too.
2 and 2. Like,
Yeah.
TOO.
Or
I'm like,
there
yeah.
and there.
Like, I like it too, but
Or
they
then and
spelled
then.
2.
And actually, I didn't make the test. My girlfriend did. You know who?
Mm-hmm.
And he failed it. And he always blamed it on. What's
The
it called?
autotype,
Siri.
autocorrect.
You know how some words you just can't don't autocorrect to that mishap. You know what I mean? So anyway, size is important.
But
in
how
that sense.
important though? If he's just medium average, is it really that much more if it was like colossal?
I think too big is too bad and too small is oh no. That's what it is.
I mean, size absolutely matters.
Why?
I know because
It
Nora still
absolutely
will
does.
never forget the guy who had
The
a pencil dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Nora, maybe you're traumatized. But if he wasn't a pencil and he was like maybe like the Sharpie,
I think it's
Or
because
they're
he was a shitty person on top of having a pencil dick, and that's why it really
was bad.
was bad for you.
Yeah.
for me, I just don't think it's something to stand on ceremony about. I'm not saying for it to be like so microscopic.
Okay,
and you
so
can't
what's the
see it.
minimum? What's the minimum?
I mean, the fucking average size of a man. What's average size?
The average size is 5 inches.
Well, then it's average, and I feel like that's okay.
No, in
But
America.
they have procedures for these things, girls. It's not the hill to die on. They got things, injectables.
No
they
one's
got
dying on
these
the
penis
hill.
things.
I know. I've injected my patients with them.
Okay, so what have you been injecting?
You mean
Stem
like-
cells.
Okay,
so
stem
I
cells.
injected my ex one day. So I was, we were doing stem cells, and I was like, you know what? This is when like the O shot and the penis shot was like a really big trendy thing,
Right.
And so, he wasn't that big, but I was like, you know what? Why don't we try it? It'll give you girth, it'll give you some length, and he was down for it. So I numbed him up and I injected him in 6 spots on
Oh, I
his
remember
penis.
who it was.
Yep, and then I gave myself the O shot because I was like, well, why not?
Did it
Just
make
give
you
it a try.
go, oh?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I injected myself, I injected him, and I mean,
Do you
I
see
would
a
say
difference?
I would say it helped out a little bit. I mean,
Percentage-wise.
percentage-wise, I say like maybe 30%.
That's a good enough percentage for a man who had that to add 30%
But
to
the
it.
thing is, I didn't stay with him long enough to see the longevity of how this lasted.
So you enhanced and built his dick for
I
the
did.
next bitch to
I
to
did.
reap the
I sure
benefits?
did.
Correct.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
I built
I'm
I
a
built a
good
boo from
woman.
scratch last year. I had him get a hair transplant. He got circumcised. He had a gym membership.
Wait a minute. How old was he? He got circumcised at
He
what
was
age?
32 years old.
And he had a turtle dick the entire time?
He did.
Well
so I had
done.
him get a hair transplant. He got Invisalign, and then he got a circumcision. And I never even got to experience any of those. And then he went on to the next girl. So I built him up, and then I
Did you pay for it?
I didn't pay for it. I did not pay for it.
Basically,
Fuck
the
that.
Sozahdah sisters, we build you up. We leave you better than when we found you.
That's true.
That is a fact.
100%.
If you get a Sozahdah sister, they are going to leave you better than they found
Just because
you.
we got resources. That's what it comes
Because
down
we know
to.
all the tricks and the trades.
We
and
do.
we like to make people feel better about themselves. Let them. It's so nice when you can give the gift of confidence to somebody and make them feel upgraded and make them feel leveled up and better. It's
Well, I
such a
want
nice
to see.
gift
I want
give
to see what
someone.
11 says about the average penis size.
Oh, so we're really kicking off this first episode with like no warm up, huh? Y'all just said skip the appetizers and just jumped right into the meal. So a good size is whatever works for the both of you, but 6 to 7 is the average.
That's hard or soft.
You're saying you don't want to get torn up, and that's how
I'm
we get it
asking a
soft?
question,
Oh
11,
my
I don't know. Be
gosh.
specific,
Okay,
girl.
11.
Thickness is greater than length for some. Too big can hurt. Too small can still work if the vibe is right.
Okay.
7.5 inches, guys, is about right here.
So I
hard.
agree with 11. I think 6 to 7.5 is good for me. And it's all about the person that's operating the machinery, the heavy machinery. If he
That's
knows how to
still
drive
kind
a
of-
car, he's good. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fucking long dick, guys. What do you guys want with all that dick?
Well, maybe I
You want to
expect
fill
more.
it through your throat?
I expect
you
more
wanted to come out one
no,
hole and exit
I
another?
expect more because I
That's
know what I
crazy.
have to offer. I know what I have to offer. They're
So your
getting
pussy has
a
wants a big
freaking.
dick.
They
Got
got treasure. They have gold. They got the freaking. They came across a golden treasure. They're like, oh.
So what does the size? I want to know what does
to
the
offer.
size
That's
differ?
Honestly,
why.
I don't really care about like the dick size either. Even
Yeah,
though
even
I
though
have
you
no
tried to
problem
build
in that.
one?
I don't
You're
have
right.
any issues or complaints in that department.
I don't
How
know.
wide is your vagine to where you have to have the hugest dick to be able to feel something? Like that says what's more telling of a woman than it is a man.
Okay, so aside from physical things about
Yeah.
men, what are other things that we can talk about? 'Cause we've
I
discussed
think that it's really important for me to have someone in my life that can give me the life that I already have, at least match what I'm doing in my life.
Then how is he making it better?
And then at minimum, right? Because then we always have these potentials. It's like the potential boo, and that's where I come in.
No potential.
I know. That's my
We need
mistake. I'm
Turnkey ready.
constantly seeing potential, and then because we're women, actually, there's a sociologist. She goes by Hochschild. She's from the 1980s. She wrote a book called The Second Shift, basically explaining that women have a first shift, which is our jobs, our careers, and then we come home and have a second shift, which is taking care of the kids and nurturing your husband. So naturally, we have it within us to be the nurturer, the caretaker, the fixer-upper. So most women actually fix up more men than men fix up women. So it's built within us, most women, to want to see the potential and to want to fix it. What can we do? How can we help the situation? And we never had men around us. We always thought, let's build our own boo. So I'm always seeing men that have potential.
I think that's the thing. Like
And I
when we
tried
were
to fix
young,
them up.
We didn't have a dad growing
Yeah.
up, so for us, it was like I always had an idea of what I wanted a man to be. And so, have you guys ever heard that term hypergamy? Hypergamy is like when a
I
woman,
like it. I'm
when
with
a
it.
woman, marries into status or
Yeah.
dates for status. But naturally, I think we were conditioned that way. And even like as a kid growing up without dad, because he died, it's like I always thought, how do I get to the next point in survival in life? I have to be with someone that's going to level me up in that way. And that was financial stability. That was, having that. I mean, yeah, I got my education. Yeah, I went to PA school. Yeah, I had my own career. But at the end of the day, it's like I would have been stuck in that place, And in the relationship I'm in now, I mean, I didn't get into my relationship because it was going to bring me to the next level. But it's like naturally, I think women, maybe we're just naturally conditioned to level up. But I feel like in today's society, there's been a shift. There's just too much of like men and women are super equal. Let's go Dutch. Like personally for me, I could never date a guy that wanted to go Dutch on anything. I just couldn't.
Never.
See,
I
I
just
want to
couldn't.
say they're
Cardinal sin.
equal, but I really hardly
I
ever
never.
come across a man that's building a woman. I mean, unless
Oh,
the
I've
sugar,
seen
unless
plenty
there
of
are a
them.
lot of-
I've seen plenty of
oh,
them.
unless they're older and they're sugar daddies and they're paying for all your surgeries or whatever
Yeah.
it is, right?
No, those young men trick too. The
I
young
think
men
that,
trick too.
I think that there's still more women build-a-boos that building men than there are versus men.
I have to disagree. I think it's just
You think it's equal?
I think it's a climate of what just the world and the dating world looks like, and when
You
you're
don't know what the
people-
dating world looks like. You don't date, girl.
I choose not to play it. That is a difference. It doesn't mean that I have naivete or I'm not aware of what's going on. I just choose to recuse myself and not participate. But I see full well what the hell is going on. And at the end of the day, women want the 6-pack abs and 6-figure kings that fucking meditate at sunrise, but they're over there emotionally texting their exes and don't got their own shit together. So it's like, let's not play and let's align. Like you can't go making these lists when you yourself have not fulfilled your own list.
I
Be the
agree.
list that you're seeking. You can't come and say, I want
Absolutely.
X, Y, and Z, but you yourself are not healed. You yourself don't have the things that you want to accomplish. To have a man with a hypergamy, to have you level you up, I think that's an amazing thing. I think it is innate for a man to be the hunter, to be the provider, and a woman to fall in sync and to be the domesticated one and fall in it.
Which comes to my exact point, which is that women in particular invest in maintaining and nurturing a relationship.
Right.
Which is why we are the fixer-uppers, which is why women, more than men, are building booze.
But
Thank
build a
you.
boo when it's your husband, bro. When you have something invested on
But
the line,
you can't-
be going to every.
you're not
random
gonna marry
stranger
a
being
man
like,
that's
"I'm
not
gonna build
built."
you up. You get a build. You get a build. You get a build.
Babe, you're not going to build.
Yeah.
You're not going to marry a man that's not already built. You're building the boo to marry, is what I'm saying.
Well, these days, I think women in their 20s can afford to do the whole build a boo projects and be builder bobs.
Oh, I'm
But
not
at the-
trying to build any booze right
but at
now.
the end of the
I'm trying to
day,
have a
I
turnkey
feel like-
operation, girl.
I
I
feel
want
like-
that turnkey. Give me the key. Thank you. Bye. Bot.
At the end of the day, it's all good to have standards, but at the end of the day, if you have a list without self-reflection, it's just a wish list. So,
Exactly.
Correct.
you can't say, I want this and that, but yet you can't bring that same thing to the table. And I'm
Right.
not talking about just financially. I'm talking about emotional stability. I'll give you an example. In my relationship with John, I mean, this is a relationship that I've never experienced before. You all know I've been through plenty of
I
relationships.
can attest to that.
Okay. And so I've learned that there is still power in my femininity because I've always been in survival mode with my sisters. I have played the role of caretaker for my younger sisters. I play the role of contributing to the family.
Right.
And now I have this man that is more alpha than I am. But men don't want the super alpha woman. And it's okay.
No.
You can still be alpha in your own shit, in your own business. Be that boss woman. But when you're at home, you still got to be feminine.
need to submit.
Men want to know that you're their peace. And he always says that to me. He's like, you don't need to fight me. He's like, I respect you. We're partners.
I agree.
I want to see you succeed. I'm going to help you build your dreams. You don't need to fight me these things. Sometimes let me just take over. And I've learned that, you know what?
You're not used to it.
I got to step back, but I'm not used to it because I've learned this and
You were always the alpha.
I'll be the first one to admit I get EMDR therapy. If anyone doesn't know what that is, EMDR therapy is just a next level of what behavioral cognitive therapy is. Like I sit there with these paddles. I basically go back to my childhood, right? You've got in science, they talk about your prefrontal cortex. It develops by the age of 25. And I realized that all of my resistance or my alpha or me like, no, I want to do it my way. I realized that's my inner child screaming, no, 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 because of what I saw growing up as a kid. And maybe it's different for you guys, but for me, it was like when I was a kid, we had a dad that was very domineering, very strict, temperamental. There was no hiding that. And so for me, it's like when John talks to me, sometimes I perceive his protection as control. I'll be like, no, you can't tell me what to do. But he's like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to, number one, protect you from making decisions because I've had these experiences before. Like, why not let that into my life? Like, I have nothing to prove anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have a man that really wants the best for me. And I really see a lot of, and then I'm speaking for myself and maybe other entrepreneurial women who are super like, I'm successful, this and that. Like, bravo, good for you. But when a man comes into your life, like, don't sabotage it.
You gotta let go.
Yeah.
You have to let go.
I think it's also a
needs to
cultural
be
thing.
A woman. It is a cultural
I think it's a
thing.
cultural thing. I mean, growing up in a culture that, men are mostly dominant and they're the patriarch of the family, we've always been taught, like, okay, he's the head of the household. And then as we've grown up in America and westernized, okay, he can be the head of the household, but a woman is a neck that turns the head.
Correct.
And we could together work as one. And I think that it was difficult for us to really see that because in our family, it was just like dad and that was it. And mom was just serving.
But it wasn't a good example.
No, it
Let's
wasn't
be
a good
real.
example.
Dad was overly strict. He was temperamental. He was your typical Afghan guy. And I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that fear, that everything, that anger, that resentment, that whatever, it all carried into my adulthood. And I realized because I didn't want to date the same guy. If you've noticed, like, my catalog of men have been all very different because I felt like my whole life I've been
Same.
trying to find the one, like, what's more compatible for me,
Very
right?
different, but very the same, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
There was one underlying root cause or issue, and it was like the abandonment fear because we lost dad so young, and so you're trying to, like, you get the same lesson in different ways. You're gonna keep getting different men that are gonna try to teach you the same lesson because you never really learned it. You're gonna try to recreate the narrative, and then once you in your head, it's like, oh, okay, well, it worked out, we're together, and that in your head, that is what was successful, and it makes you feel worthy and it gives you validation, and you're putting too much validation in other people's hands when you can give it to yourself.
Right. And that's the thing too, is I had to look at myself in the mirror. It wasn't like, okay, you're the problem, on to the third and the fourth. Like, no, I had to look at myself, because for me, it's like, y'all ever heard of Esther Pearl? She says that women look for excitement and stability in the same person, right? So I had my checklist of men of what I wanted. And I realized that everything I wanted on paper sounded like a 10, but it did not translate to the guy I wanted in person at all.
It never does.
At
It
all.
never does.
And so in my life, now that I'm now a mom, I've got my household together, alhamdulillah, I realize that my love and the idea of love and what I want in a man and what I have in my man has completely evolved.
Same.
And I don't think I want to go back to, I wouldn't, not I don't think, I would never want to go back to my old ways of what I thought a man, what I wanted in a man.
You can't go from filet mignon to hamburger helper, baby.
Yeah.
Well, girl, I got the Wagyu.
Yeah.
She does.
She got that grass fed, baby.
I used to think
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Shout out to my brother John.
Well, growing
I love my brother. No, for real. It is such a refreshing thing to see you. I know you'd be struggling now, you'd be fine, but like, girl, just let it be. Be in your fucking soft girl era. Girl, it's such a nice look on you. Let it be.
It takes work.
It takes, for
honestly,
you, it takes an absorbent
You
amount
have
of
to,
work.
because we have been conditioned since we were
You've
children.
been conditioned.
Yeah.
It's
You've
because
we
you have
have.
to give up
You have-
control.
well,
it's because you have
it's
to
not
give
that
up
easy to
control.
give up control.
Exactly,
You have
Right,
to
but
that's
that's
just
not
give
easy.
it
But
why.
if it's someone that's guiding you down the right path to glory,
Exactly.
You don't always know what that is. Like, it could be looking at you dead straight in the face. I'm your savior. And you're like, but no, what if you're not? Like,
Yeah.
I
think that
it's
we
hard.
were-
check that.
It's
we were
hard. Well, no,
conditioned.
girl.
We were conditioned to
Trust
get
me,
into a
because
an
we could talk
analogy.
about, a lot of things, but it's like at the end of the day, you have to work on it. It's like the way you treat your
Fair
job and your
enough.
career, you got to put that into your relationship.
enough.
You can't just expect, like, what are you bringing to the table if you want this in return? Like, are we asking too much of ourselves? Like, what we're asking, are we doing it ourselves? Are we that person?
right.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I said you have to make sure that the list that you're asking for, that you have already completed that list for self. You can't go asking for these things when you yourself are not whole. It would be absurd because then the energy you're giving out to the universe is incongruous. You can't say, I want X, Y, and Z, but you are nothing
But
like
there are
what you
people
want.
that are
You're not
delulu.
attracting
There are
that.
people that are delulu and still
Correct.
want that. And think about,
Well, then let them be fucking
girl, it
delulu. They're
happens
going to
every
be on a
day.
chase
Are
for
you
the rest
kidding
of
me?
their
The
lives.
unrealistic standards and expectations that people have,
Oh,
girl, it's
yeah.
everywhere. It's very rampant.
It's hard to make the transition.
It's a plague.
It's hard. Yeah, it's difficult.
Ergo, the climate of dating in
It's
2025.
just too superficial. There's no depth to it anymore.
Now, the downside about having a list is when they're not, when they don't have those characteristics on that list, what do you do? Because like Jamila said, it's like communism. It looks beautiful on paper. Is it played out well in real life? Not really. Same thing about having a list.
That's
So
why
whenever-
I feel like with me, I have to be with someone that's older than me and wiser than me. Like I wanted someone that would also teach me in ways that I didn't already learn myself.
I guess I'll never learn anything because all the guys I did are younger.
Yeah.
You're Cougar Town.
You're the one that's teaching them things.
Margot
That's
from
your
The
first
Hunting
mistake.
Wives.
Maybe if you
You're
switch it up
right.
a little bit,
You're right.
it might change the energy around, who you attract in your life.
I'm
Maybe
for
you're
real.
not. Maybe you're not ready for a relationship.
No, I am. I dated
mean,
some,
she
I
says
am
she
dating-
is,
I
but-
am. I'm dating older now.
How much older? Like a year or two? A year off of 25.
No,
so
dating
it's
older is
26.
dating someone her age. That's dating older.
That's
Fuck off.
crazy work, Sid.
It's true.
Well,
That's crazy.
that's not true, y'all.
It pretty much is, though.
It's exciting. Okay, what are the top 5 questions you ask a guy to see if he matches your list? How do you know if you're on a date? Shakur, actually, not to, Noor.
I'm off.
If you're on a
off
date,
again.
because Shakur doesn't go on dates. If ever you're on a date, what are the top 5 questions you ask a guy to see if he has the specifics that are on your list without letting him know you're asking these questions? What do you look for? How do you ask these questions?
Honestly, I like to listen. I'm a big listener when I have dates. Or when I go on dates, I'm a big listener. I believe in observing, and you can learn a lot when your mouth is shut.
Because people
You can
often
learn
tell
a lot.
themselves.
You can learn a lot about someone without ever having to ask them, just simply by listening to them. And so I've really, really incorporated that into my daily life. Just,
Can I just ask on your top? Okay, since you said five list, where does it like lie? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's your number one, and then so on and so forth.
You know what? Like Noor said.
No. Let her ask.
Oh.
I'm asking Noor a question. What are your top 5 that you look for in a man, in numeric order?
well, obviously you're not going to be attracted to personality. You're not going to be like, oh man, that person looks like they have a great personality.
You
Look
don't
really
gotta
funny. No one's
justify
ever
it.
going to say that. Obviously you have to have attraction.
So looks is number 1.
No.
Got it.
No.
That's
I
funny
didn't-
that
I
you
never
say
said
that.
I never said looks is number one, but
So
there
it's
has to be an
semantics.
attraction, Shakur.
I think
Okay.
it's swag.
There has to be an attraction.
Fair enough.
an
So what do you
attraction.
call that? What's number
Swag.
1? What do you call that attraction? Just attraction?
Chemistry.
Huh?
It's chemistry. Chemistry. Attraction could be because of the vibe. You meet someone, you guys get into a great conversation, you guys make each other laugh, whatever it is. It's a vibe. It's chemistry.
Does that have to do with looks though?
A chemistry involves looks. Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
then
that's
what's number
funny.
2?
Let me interrupt you there. There is actually a psychologist who's an expert on narcissism. And the reason why I bring this up is because you have been dating some narcissists in the past. The last 2 guys you were with were some severe narcissists, remember?
Yeah.
And he said that a lot of times women mistake chemistry with compatibility.
100%.
So it's interesting that you said, you know, the chemistry, like, oh, I'm not gonna, oh, his personality is so amazing. It's like, when I heard you say that, I'm like, but wait, you've kind of done that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but now
maybe we need to relook about, maybe we need to, oh, I don't need to, maybe you need to kind of like, you know, separate the chemistry with compatibility, because you can have chemistry with someone and you can have a toxic fucking relationship.
Okay, I want you to go on a
100%.
promenade with me. Continue. 1 is chemistry. What's number 2?
the others, you just have to learn about someone when you get to know them.
No. You have something. If you were to write it on a paper, keep it a buck. What's number 2?
It's financially stable.
Okay. 3.
Humor.
Kind.
Girl, who? I'm asking
Kind.
you. I'm asking Noor.
You know,
Kind.
8 and 9.
Huh?
Kind.
Okay.
They align.
Kind. So character, right? Fair
Yeah,
enough to say.
character.
Number 4.
So what is dependability is all tied up
Absolutely.
with that? Is that
No,
tied up
that's
with the first
different.
one? Okay, kind, dependable.
Okay. Number 5.
Yeah.
What's number 5?
Yeah. Integrity.
Funny enough, I actually took this survey. I forget what it was. It was online, and they asked you a bunch of questions like this: the top 5, what you're looking for, right? And this is before, you know, my relationship with John and having a family and all that. But before I did this, when I was single a few years ago, when I did it, I clicked on it. It said that the percentage of men in my category of what I was looking for was 0.000432.
A unicorn, ladies.
I was like, so basically, it's a 0% chance that
exist.
you're gonna find that man.
He's a Pegasus.
Oh, within that bracket
that
you wanted, the
Pegasus?
height, the physical looks, everything.
Well, I
It just
thought we were
it doesn't
talking about
exist.
fantasy.
Come on,
Yeah.
ladies. what the fuck? Be
I would never
realistic.
compromise
Be
a good man
realistic.
based on
Honestly,
his
stop
height.
living
I
in
would
fucking
never
La
do
La
it.
Land. Stop living in fantasy and live in
What the
reality.
fuck?
The
Do you guys want to
reality
date an
is
AI or do you want to date a real
Or
life
honestly,
human flesh?
when it came down to it, I would never compromise a good dude for his height. I would never do it.
I've never seen you date a short guy.
That's not true. I dated a guy that was 5'9".
and he wore lifts.
You know who it is. And he wore lips. One day I was cleaning his house. He's like, "Oh, baby, thank you for cleaning my house." And I go to pick up these pair of like, high tops, right? And I pick them up real quick and they're heavy. I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Why are these so heavy?" I look, there's wooden lifts in the shoes. I got so dehydrated.
listen.
I was like, "Why? Why?"
Hold on one second. I got a saying coming for
Hold
the
on,
men.
did you call him out on it?
No, you can't call out a man. You just let it be.
Listen, listen.
I cannot.
Listen.
He was
Had it sitting
Oh
there
my
on
God.
the table when he walked
No,
in.
that's
He
not
was
fair.
older
What
than
if
me.
the guy
Right.
came to you and said, "Oh my God," and talked about, "You did this. Oh, you got your lip
Oh, you're
injection.
wearing a padded bra?
Oh, you got Botox. Oh, you got a boob
That's
job."
not
Like
right.
That
That can't be just a
equal.
standard. I've been Bob the Builder. I've painted men like Picasso. Spoiler alert, and never dries. Do not be engaged with the fact of, do not be engaged with the blueprints. Like, don't fall in love with the idea. You got to go turnkey ready at this point in life. That's just what it is. Build-A-Boo. I feel like Build-A-Boo got to be for a husband. You're like locked and sealed.
So I recently saw, Madonna was partying with her boyfriend. She's in her 60s and he was turning 28 or 29. And she looks really good. They're having a great time. Cher dates men that are decades younger than her.
Are you
Cher is that
justifying the
girl.
fact that you like younger men? Is that what you're doing? Because I hear
Honestly,
justification.
My man might not be born yet. Thank you.
Damn, Sid. Come on, Sid.
I'm kidding.
Hey Wolfpack, it's game time. DM your questions to the podcast to have them added to the chest.
All right, guys, girls, it's game time. Ladies. Okay, we have here our secret chest. Okay, so there's
Close
a
your
bunch
eyes.
of stuff in here. I have to pick. Okay. I'm so nervous. Pull up your camera roll, scroll violently, and share the first photo you land on.
Come on with it.
Okay, bring me my phone. Oh fuck! It's the green. It's the black. It's the green one.
No, that
over
one's
there.
mine.
The green one.
Come on with it, Sid.
I
Damn.
have to
Zit.
blindly roll.
Damn.
Oh my god, I'm really scared right now. No, it's that one. Okay,
Don't cheat.
I'm not.
Close your
I'm gonna
eyes,
go to my
Sid.
camera roll.
Close
and
your
I'm gonna
eyes.
blindly roll. Okay.
Scroll.
Okay, scroll. Okay, I'm so scared.
Okay, you can stop.
No, she can stop whenever she wants.
What is it?
Move your finger. I got it.
Okay.
Snooze.
Oh, it's me. Help me the dancing in Mykonos.
That's nothing
spicy.
So one thing I realized is that the man that we think we want is not actually the man that we need. And I've learned that more so now than ever in my relationship now.
Or the universe will not give you the man you want, but the man that you need to learn.
All I can say, ladies, is what is coming is better than what has gone. So don't cry over all that spilled milk.
Make sure your inner child graduates before stepping into boardroom realities. Heal yourself. Do the work.
And don't forget to check on your sister.